I'm Sarah Chapman. We're all adjusting to the changes in our daily lifestyle at the moment, so probably experiencing more stress than normal, changes to your diet, changes to your skincare regimes. We all need to feel good at the moment, so it's really important to look after ourselves. So I'm going to share just some of my beauty and wellness tips with you, the ones that work for me. I start every day with hot water and lemon. It's really good to cleanse the system, it's good to kickstart the digestion, really good with all the antioxidants in it and the vitamin C to boost the immunity. It's also great for keeping the skin clear. So a good thing to do every morning on an empty stomach that I do is just to take your lemon, squeeze in some of the lemon and a big chunk into hot water and use that for your internal sort of cleanse at the start of the day. I then often go on to making a smoothie. I'm a big fan of sort of proteins and powders. I have my Vitamix. I'm somebody that drinks lots of oat milk or soy milk, almond milk, those sorts of things. And I have lots of different powders. So depending on how I'm feeling, I'll make up something in the morning. So I'll mix in lots of berries, blueberries in particular. I'm always big on blueberries. Sometimes I'll go for more of a protein option. So I'll put these in seeds, nuts, protein powders, collagen powders as well. And I'll have that before I take the dog to the park for a walk. And then when I come back, I'll have some porridge or some gluten-free cereal or something like that. Everyone that knows me knows that I love my teas. I love a cup of tea. It has to be in a little china cup, just like this. And I love English breakfast tea, but I also really like unusual teas. So I was introduced at a very young age to Kokicha twig tea because my mum and dad used to drink it when they were on a macrobiotic program. It's really good for alkalizing the body. It feels very therapeutic. It's got a lovely roasty taste. So sometimes I'll have that. And I'm also a big fan of matcha tea. So I bought these back from Japan and I like to make up a proper green matcha tea. I did a tea ceremony there. So there is a very specific way of stirring and getting the right temperature. And if you get it right, matcha tea can be delicious. If you get it wrong, it can be really sour and a lot of people don't like it. I personally take a lot of supplements each day. I focus on like multi-nutrients, multivitamins, omega oils. I'm currently taking probiotic. I'm also taking Bare Biology omega supplements. Omegas are brilliant for so many things in the body and the brain, but also the skin, because they really help your cells lock on to moisture in the skin. And it's really important to get those if you don't get enough from your diet, and that's from things like salmon and oily fish. It's good to supplement, and these are really high grade, good quality to do that. So I take those every day. Also a sort of multivitamin specifically formulated for women. Then at the moment, I'm currently focusing quite a bit as well on immunity, obviously, with everything that's going on. So I'm taking vitamin C and zinc, but I'm also boosting with a liposomal vitamin C, which I love, which you can drink straight from the sachet or you put it into a glass of water. And actually what I've noticed, because it's liposomal, so it has that oil structure, when I take my supplements with the water with this in it, so I pop that into the water, it helps the tablets go down much more easily because of the oil structure in here. And this is my daily sort of morning dose of tablets. So it's quite nice to be able to push those down nice and smoothly. I also take turmeric. Turmeric's really good for inflammation. And sometimes I get quite stiff joints in my fingers, especially if I've been doing loads of facials and facial massage. So turmeric's really good for that sort of anti-inflammatory effect. And I'll sometimes change some of these around, but this is kind of where I'm at the moment. Something that I also sometimes do if I'm not getting any sleep and I'm having a really sort of troubled mind and maybe my joints are aching, maybe my muscles are aching, is before I go to bed, I'll take some of this calms powder, which is magnesium based. So maybe I'll have a bath with magnesium, but I'll also drink some of it as well. Supplementation, I think, is great to add into your diet. It's also really important, obviously, to have all of your great foods. So oily fish, berries, colourful foods, which are really rich in all the antioxidants and things that you need for your body, your mind, but also for your skin. But the real skin focus for me is those fantastic omegas. It's important to stick to a routine at home, especially with diet, because changes to your diet can affect your skin. So maybe you're reaching for too much caffeine, maybe you're reaching for too many sugary treats, we're looking for comfort food. This can then affect your skin and encourage breakouts or an imbalance in the skin. It's also really good to eat at regular intervals. I think it's very easy at home for the day to just kind of pass you by and suddenly you realise you haven't had lunch and it's 5 o'clock, or you end up eating late, because if you are actually somebody that's managing to work at home, sometimes you can get so lost in that and actually completely lose track of time. So it's really good to get a sort of routine, keep a balance in your diet, try not to change too many things, try to make sure that you're always sort of supporting your diet with good nutrients, but also your skin as well. Your skin can get really dehydrated very quickly from changes in the diet, also from not drinking enough water. So it's a really good idea to always have a bottle of water next to you so that you continue to drink that throughout the day, and to have regular meals, regular snacks, maintain your blood sugar levels. All of these imbalances, if you're not doing that, can show themselves in the skin with breakouts or dehydration or dullness. As much of a believer as I am in sticking to a routine, I also think it's good to have little treats sometimes. I kind of think of a sort of 80-20. If you can be really good and in your routine and healthy with what you're eating and doing everything really well for sort of 80% of the time. So I kind of think to myself, well, that's my weekdays. And then at the weekends, you can let it all go and you can eat something you want to and you can have a few glasses of wine. I love at the weekend to have a long breakfast. This is my favourite meal, is to sit and to have a really nice long indulgent breakfast, poached eggs, spinach, smoked salmon, lots of lovely English breakfast tea, because I think during the week, especially if you're a busy working person, you eat your breakfast for its nutritional value and you're off for the day. I love to actually be able to sit and indulge, even if you end reading the papers or just chatting, or it's just a really nice treat and a nice time of the day. So don't be strict with yourself 100% of the time, because I think that's also really when it's hard to stick to things. I always believe in doing your sort of roughly 80-20. So you could be naughty 20% of the time and enjoy it. Obviously, with the current situation, I'm not getting my daily steps to the office, my running around, but I do love coming out for my daily sort of exercise allowance. So I bring little Sidney to the park. We have a run around for an hour in the glorious parks in London, and it's so gorgeous. Today's such a beautiful day, but it's great to be in the greenery, to breathe in fresh air, to get your kind of oxygen levels up. I see loads of people doing exercise. I've got people with dumbbells, people with their yoga mats, people lifting logs. So it's great to be able to get out for that sort of hour day. So my favourite part of the day at the moment during this isolation phase is my exercise walk with little Sidney. Come on, Sid. Come on, this way. Now that we all have a bit of time on our hands, we can really focus on taking care of our skin. So your daily regimes should be something like this. So starting with your cleansing. So a really good cleansing regime every morning. Give your skin a really nice, deep, thorough cleanse. And then your second step of cleansing could be your resurfacing liquid facial resurfacer will lift off all the dead cells, brighten the skin, but also prepare it for the absorption of your serum. So each morning you want to be doing your cleansing and your resurfacing. Then you have your choice of serums. So we've got lots of choices of serums. You might want to focus on hyaluronic, so you want to focus on that kind of hydration. There you've got intense hydrating booster. It might be that your skin feels a bit blotchy, uneven pigment. You can go for skin tone perfecting booster. If you're looking at all those kind of advanced signs of aging and you're really focused on that, you could go for your stem cell collagen activator. Vitamin C serums, there's lots of different things that you could bring into your routine. So after your cleansing and skin prepping, you want to put your serum on as your first layer of treatment and let that really absorb into the skin. After that, you're going to finish with your moisturising Dynamic Defense Concentrate. Both have an SPF 15 in them, so they're going to give you that degree of protection, and we do need SPF even inside. So I know that we're all stuck at home. Hopefully you've got some outdoor space, a garden, somewhere to sit outside. and then you'll be catching some good weather rays at some point. But if you are inside, you also need to be protecting, because there's UV rays penetrate through glass. We've got different lights coming out of devices, out of tablets, mobile phones. So really important every day to do something that's moisturising, but it's also giving you a shield of protection. Don't forget as well to focus on the eye area. Eye recovery is a really nice sort of liquid cream that can really focus on lines, dehydration, puffiness, circles around the eye area. And that would be your morning routine. So really simple. You should always have your kind of cleansing and prepping. You should have a serum that you put on that is targeted for you. So if you were looking at your skin and thinking, what is my primary concern at the moment? That would be how you would choose your serum. You put that all onto nicely cleansed skin so that it can absorb, because they're your most concentrated product and you want those active ingredients to really get into the skin. And then you would seal with your moisturizing and your layer of defense and protection. And then also your specific eye treatment. Of course, there's lots of other things that you could do, specific lip treatments, neck and chest. But keeping that daily regime nice and simple. But interestingly, so many of you have asked at the moment about how to do a facial at home. I guess, as we said at the beginning, we've a lot more time at the moment. And so you can really give yourself a proper sort of facial treatment at home. So if you're doing your daily routine, you may want to once or twice a week enhance that by doing sort of almost a professional treatment for yourself at home. And then you would bring in some professional steaming. You could also use masks, and you could use massage techniques. So you could bring in some masks into your routine, and these masks could be kept in the fridge. If you keep them in the fridge, when you put them on, they'll have a super cooling and refreshing effect, which is really nice. 3D Moisture Infusion would be your sheet mask for super plumping hydration. And your platinum eye mask would be great for you if the eyes are your particular area of concern. So if, when I talked about the eye product and eye recovery, you thought, oh, that's for me, then this could be your partner for that. And if you really want to sort of do a bit more of a professional facial at home, you can go for the Pro Hydra Mist Steamer, because this is a great way to kind of mimic what we're doing in the treatment room. So once or twice a week, you can steam. You can put exfoliating liquids on, you can put moisturizing actives on, you can do it on clean skin. And if you give yourself sort of 5 minutes of steam, you're really giving yourself part of a proper facial treatment. And then massage would be your next step, which would give you an at-home facial. If you're massaging, then you probably want to take one of our elixirs to be able to do that. I'm going to use, I have choice. I'm going to use Glow, or I'm going to use Overnight Facial. I'm actually going to use Glow. So Glow is our limited edition elixir. You can put this into your skincare routine. Either you can put a couple of drops extra in the morning, or you can use this at night. It is a super elixir for really nourishing, calming the skin, plumping the skin. You've got lots of active ingredients in here. You do have something that's going to protect you from that blue light coming from devices as well, which is called Bloomy Light. And also it's a limited edition product, which will also raise money for Women Supporting Women, which is part of the Prince's Trust. It has the most amazing smell, which is why I've chosen this one today, because it's got its incredible essential oil blend in it, which is really deeply grounding. Oils in here which help to reduce feelings of anxiety, to build feelings of confidence. I think this is something we really need at the moment. So what I would always do before starting your massage is take your product and just take some deep breaths and just quiet and still. So once you've done this a few times, you can then put the product onto the skin, smooth it everywhere. Make sure that you take it down the neck, behind the ears, around the back of the neck, so that you've really got lots of great nourishment and kind of conditioning for the skin. And then you can really work with some nice deep drainage movements. So you could literally sweep and drain to the outside of the face.
You can focus, if you like, on the jaw itself, if you've got puffiness or breakouts, blockages, toxins. You can also do some little pinching movements. Great to bring the blood flow to the surface. Really nice to get the blood pumping into the cells. Feels really good. You can also do knuckling. Knuckling will really work into the muscles. Do you have jawline tension? You can get into the jaw here and really start to ease away some of that jawline tension. Maybe you're holding your stress and anxiety just into those jaw teeth there, and you want to kind of get into that. Lots of great knuckling to bring life to the skin. We can kind of pat onto the skin. Again, anything that's giving us the boost in blood flow is going to really help to feed the cells with oxygen, feed the cells with nutrients, help to drain away waste, but bring life into the skin. Be firm, but don't be uncomfortably firm. If you want to focus on the eyes, you can do some nice drainage pressure points around the eyes. You can also do some gentle stretching out to the temple. Don't pull the tissue of the eyes too much, but gentle stretching to the temple can help to ease some of these kind of crow's feet and frustration lines. You can also do some great lifting here, because again, worry and tension really sits in here. If you're somebody that gets the really deep number 11s and you frown a lot, ease that off by just lifting. Also, just going into the sockets. Here's a lovely pressure point. You can massage just into the sockets here. Pinch along those eyebrows. Feels really good. These are just some of the techniques that you can do to give yourself a facial massage at home. And if you find this quite difficult to do, you can always reach for our facial lift massager. Which is designed really to try to mimic some of the movements that we do in the treatment room. And you literally just put it onto the jawline and you push and you roll. So you could have put your glow on, your overnight facial, some great skincare products, and then you're just going to massage in with this device. You can also massage on the neck, up and down the neck, and use the little tool at the end to just stimulate the skin like we did with that tapping with our fingertips. If you could do this once or twice a week, you'd be giving yourself that kind of professional facial at home. When you emerge at the end of this isolation time, your skin will be looking fantastic. We'll all come out looking glowing, radiant, healthy. Really focus on giving yourself a little bit of me time. When you just use your hands on your face, when you inhale, when you stop, when you breathe. Now my skin even feels alive just from just doing those couple of minutes. It'll make you feel good as well. It's a good idea to give yourself a digital detox before you go to bed. We're a culture of technology. We're spending so much time on tablets, on mobile phones, on computers, especially at the moment when you're isolated at home. This interferes with your mind patterns, it interferes with your thought, it can create anxiety. It probably disrupts your sleep patterns because so much is going on in your mind if you're doing this before you go to bed. There's also been a lot of research into the light rays that are emitted from these devices. So there's a blue light that comes from these, and it actually is quite destructive on skin cells. So from a skin benefit, it's a good idea to distance yourself sometimes from these devices, but really from a sleep benefit and looking after yourself, a digital detox for an hour or so before you go to bed can really help you to get a more restful, proper night's sleep. Overnight facial is my can't live without product. So this is your beauty sleep in a bottle. So when you go to bed, you literally take a pump or two of this. You inhale the most amazing scent, which is all really exotic and rare essential oils like jasmine, tuberose, rose. I mean, it's so lovely. It's so comforting. It almost cocoons you as you get into bed. So as you wrap yourself in your duvet and you get relaxed and you sort of release the anxieties of the day, this kind of works in partnership with you to really put you into that lovely tranquil state. But at the same time, of course, it's got loads of brilliant skincare actives. So vitamin A retinol palmitate, Damaxil peptide, lipobright skin brightener, antioxidants. I mean, so much in it, so that when you wake in the morning, you have that really post-facial glow, which is why it's called Beauty Sleep in a bottle. Sleep is so important for our health and well-being, but also for our skin. It's the time that cell rejuvenation takes place. It's the time for that real kind of restoring and reparative kind of time for the skin. And I like to sleep with a silk pillowcase. So I have like the ginger lily silk pillowcases that are really good. They're soft, they feel very luxurious, but silk also is very gentle on the skin and the hair as well. Those are great. They add a little touch of luxury as well for you. Also an eye mask. Some people like to use a silk eye mask. Sometimes I do, but not necessarily every night. I'm a big fan of pillow mists as well. So I love to spritz a pillow mist onto the pillow before going to bed. It creates that wonderful sort of haven of relaxation. Usually they have some lavender in or chamomile and those really calming essential oils. So really nice before you get into bed to help you kind of get rid of the anxiety from the day. You could, of course, just have little Sidney. He gets rid of lots of the anxiety.